Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to Islamic Action TV. We're back. Been a bit of a hot minute.
Yeah, bit of a hiatus.
A hiatus to say the least, but we're back in the holy month of Ramadan.
Subhanallah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. But we got to drop one about the big man that just passed away.
Oh yes, in LA Rajahum, brother.
Indeed, from Allah you come and to Allah you must return.
Most difficult, but before we got to make people know that you're watching Gorilla Minded Productions, brother.
Under the auspices of Islamic
Action TV with me, Muhammad Soliman, in the house, and
Bilal Alihu, as always.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. Yes, getting back to what the brother said, this week has been such a tragic sense, in the sense of like one of our beloved elders, one of our beloved statesmen, one of our beloved athletes, gladiator,
general,
poet, and he know it. You know, like what? There's no accolades, no words that can be said for this particular person, as you said, the one, the inimitable, the one and only unique Muhammad Ali, combining the two greatest of names.
What a name! What a name!
Subhanallah.
What names!
Subhanallah. So yeah, we're here to today we just want to talk about his passing and his transition over to the next life, the next phase. As we told in the Quran, we never truly die. For surely those who have given their way to Allah and given what they have passed on.
They are
most
like
definitely
their Lord and receiving substance.
Subhanallah. And we know this man's charity was bigger than the Louisville Lip. We know that he's loved all over the world. In fact, when they did I think it was the Guinness World Book of Records, so asked who was the most famous personality on the planet, everybody knew who Muhammad Ali was.
I'm thinking in my lifetime, I'd have to say he's the most famous person in my history, my human history. I can't think of anybody that is on that stature. And that's in the height of his, that's going by the height of his prowess and his profession when he was known. I mean, even as a child growing up in the 70s, and he was on the billboard, the cornflakes box. This is before the social media and before internet.
It's unimaginable.
You don't know it would have been like if he was in his heights and he had his own YouTube channel, Twitter and Facebook and Instagram,
Instagram,
all that stuff. He didn't have none of that stuff.
None of that.
Regular celestial TV.
And you had to go to pictures to watch the man. Like, he had movies. Like, He wasn't like regular. He feel like he had to go to cinema to watch his fight.
You want to see that live.
Subhanallah, man. So this guy was a great athlete, sportsman, political figure, and a showman. And actually, I believe if it wasn't for him, boxing, Pops would not be. I think every boxer now, every athlete now owes this man acknowledgement for what he did. Because even he said it back in the 60s, boxing was dying actually. It wasn't seen as, it wasn't seen as a viably economic sport necessarily, either for the fighters or for business people involved to invest their money. It was like wrestling, or they were seen as pugs. Pugs were seen as necessarily particularly intelligent people or articulate people, and that's one of the things that he brought was his wit, his sharp mind, his biting humour, and his ability to articulate his opinion and not be like, he took it to the next level. That was a man's gifts, and you know what, an inspirational character. But I want to ask you a question though, like a specific question, because I was watching the funeral and I heard somebody talking about how he was this person that he encompassed all, in a sense. He was a big man. I give him that. He was a big man in the sense that yes, I can't think of anybody that encapsulated that in our lifetime, let's say the black struggle, but coupled with being so popular in popular culture, coupled with being a Muslim, so known in the Muslim world university. So you've tied up a lot of, the whole of Western society. You're popular in Western society, you're popular in the Muslim world, and then you're popular in the black diaspora. And then just to make it like the tinge of Pan-Africanism, he went back to Kinshasa to have the big rumble in the jungle, to big up the Africans, to show you that these are my brothers. You understand? So he's like Boumaye, I'm saying. So he tied up a lot of ticks. The young lady speaking, one of the people that were eulogizing, I think obviously the keynote speaker was Clinton. And it's the year of an election, and that's another political thing that maybe we have to make another breakdown about. There was a young lady speaking, he go, and he went for all people. I know he's an international man, and we saw the Buddhists there, and the Jewish people there, and everybody giving their thing. But I don't know, she started to talk about, and for the disabled, no problem there, and for homosexuals, and for the gay, and I'm like, yo.
So, you know, or this one as well.
Yeah.
When he push up his mouth,
Yeah.
like in defiance. So I'm saying, do you think that when you use the word, the white power structure, the mainstream, the dominant culture, as Tarek Nasheed would say, whichever kind of language you use, but you know what I'm saying?
Or white supremacy.
Yeah, the white supremacists, the white hegemony. Do you think they're going to rewrite the history and take this man's legacy and turn it into he was a civil rights leader?
I think that what's crucial.
Raw, not a black power, not
that's
a black power
very
struggle, but
pertinent question.
Think about it,
it's
man.
a powerful question. I think it's actually the essence of what this particular video we're doing today is about. It's about what is the true legacy of Muhammad Ali, and has it been appropriated, misappropriated, and co-opted? That's right. Yeah, and how we used to wake us up. Has it now been used to put us to sleep? What used to make us strong, has it now made us weak? Has it been homogenized, pasteurized, and sterilized, and every other eyes that he can name? Has his actual essence as a black man, representing black masculinity, black manhood?
Representing what? Black masculinity?
Black masculinity, black manhood, black male empowerment. Has that been robbed from the individual? Has basically the power structure, as it were, come in and castrated him, but using social media and his own funeral for him now to be seen as this all-encompassing, all-singing, all-dancing,
Pally, pally.
I love you, you love me, tiptoe through the tulips.
Where's the buttercup?
Image of him. And I think, I would say the jury was out, but it looks mighty like that's really what's going to happen. That the verdict will be that his essence, who he really was, will be lost in the eulogizing and the effeminizing, and the commercializing of this great man, great Muslim, great black man, and great human being's true image. Because he was not an angel, let's be honest. He was a human being. He had his flaws, he had his faults, like anybody else.
And never claimed to be Masoom.
He did not. But the fact of the matter is, he never stopped exposing the evil that the power structure, people in the power structure did. Like he said, the Vietcong never called me nigger. So why is he going to go fight for the white man's wars when he said they won't even fight for his laws right here in America? They won't even stand up for him. So if they're his opposer, they're his enemy when he wants his freedom. Well, and so his point is that he's not going to be another lackey and another tool and a fool for white supremacy, and he's not caring about the money. He's not caring about the fame. He's caring about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala demands from him as a human being. So I believe that as a potent image of resisting white supremacy, we should make sure that this man's legacy is not lost. They took rock and roll from us. They took hip hop from us. They took our black, Egyptian, African culture from us, turned all the Egyptians white. They took Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, from us, turned him pale. Let's not let them do that with this man who was alive in our lifetime. And if we can offset that, then we should, brother.
Because it seems like there's been a bit of a whitewashing going on. I mean, you watched the Parkinson interview. One, he was pulling up
That's
punches.
in England, explained to the baby, the American man on no Parkinson.
So Parkinson, so there's an famous interview called Parkinson who was around from the 70s. He was at his heights.
That's right.
In the 70s.
That's right.
At the heights at the same time as Muhammad Ali. And he's obviously interviewed and asked him certain questions.
In
and
UK.
say that you teach, you follow a teacher that teaches a white man is a devil, but but at the same time there's a bit of a contradiction because you got white people working in your camp and your entourage and stuff, so it's a bit of a contradiction. But Muhammad Ali switched on it.
Of course!
Not because he necessarily saying that he died with that belief about,
the white man is the devil. Because that's what anybody can believe in a big head man. As a big head scientist.
I think he modified
his religious beliefs
That's
and became more towards us. Well, not towards. He became from being a nation of Islam
to an Orthodox, more of an Orthodox stance. We can't really say Sunni or Shia or such, but we know it was more amalgamated with the fact that Islam was about humanity, not so much about the colour. Even though the nation, even though he said he was never on problem with people's colour, but he went by the people's conscious behaviour.
But still, I think in
so
American
Parkinson, because
I'm just about to digress, but in the Parkinson, so basically he put it on Michael Parkinson because that was a principle that he was representing at the time, and essentially what he was talking about is that it's an unjust society that Africans have been there against, Africans have been brought there against their will, and built the country for 400 years, and they weren't considered in the constitution for like 3/5 of a human being. Malcolm taught us, Malik Shabazz taught that they were taught in that democratic document.
This man had to throw away his gold medal, brother.
Of a human being.
Before the gold medal.
Why did he throw away his gold medal?
He just won the world. He just won the Olympic championship.
Championship.
And he went back to Louisville, and he couldn't even get he couldn't even go to a restaurant and eat.
Yeah. So in that context now, you're gonna try and say, like as outside context, well, that wasn't Ali really being serious. No, he was deadly serious at the time because he's trying to challenge a system of injustice.
The man was broke. That's serious. The man lost his livelihood. Houses can you get the food that could put into the mouths of his children? He was prepared to not let that happen, so he wouldn't compromise his Islamic belief system. So how many of us would do that today?
Exactly.
How many of us? Imagine he didn't know he was gonna get his boxing license reinstated in 3 years. That wasn't no guarantee. He could have just been another.
He wouldn't win the title back.
There was no guarantee of that. He was like Job. When Allah says in the Quran, isn't it? Test him, Don't just say you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't just say I love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't just say, oh yeah, I love fasting in the month of Ramadan, but you sneak around the corner and yam a sandwich. Allah watches you all the time. So this man like Ayub, like the Prophet Job, the devil said if you
just curse him out.
Curse him out. But he said if you take away his wealth, you make him have sores and boils, you put the pressure on him, I'll show you that he'll curse you. I'll show you that he'll not love you. He's just chatting. But when Allah did all these things, even Job's wife was saying, please man, just you got all this wealth, you lost it all. Allah's not there for you. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew the power and it was in the heart of Job. And when he did these things, Job, the more pressure you put on him, the more he came true. Because why? Because Allah knows in your heart that if you're a soldier, if you're not a soldier. Muhammad Ali, he was a soldier. He was of this caliber and he lost everything. But he stood on his principles. So I think it's hypocritical when snakes like Clinton, you believe in Clinton? Satan?
Did you say Satan?
You say Satan or
Clinton?
Okay, anyway, when people come to
questions how do you believe in
Satan or Clinton, comes and talks about how he suffered injustice. Yeah, against you. Because he was against your bombing in Afghanistan. He was against your war you got in Afghanistan. He was against your breaking up Syria that you're doing now. He was against your arms sales. So it's hypocritical that you, a warmonger, is standing there trying to represent a man of peace and a man of love. This is the hypocrisy of the whole thing.
I know.
This is the hypocrisy of it.
It's that deep. So you can see that I personally believe that there's going to be a rewriting.
It's already started, brother.
A redesigning, a reformulation of this man. Because I was even speaking to a brother on the phone when he first passed away, and the brother was saying, he actually, because he's more than a black power. He's more than a black. And I'm thinking to myself, is there something wrong with being a black leader or being a black struggle? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like when you think of different Muslims, right? When you think of different people that ain't even Muslim, you don't say, Bill Clinton. It's more than just from the white mainstream. I want Sammy Davis Jr.'s great grandson.
Who says that Hillary? She's more than just a woman.
She's more than just a white woman,
No, did you say she's the next president of the United States? Snakes.
Yeah.
Sticks.
I had to look at it's not just Iranian. Why are you trying to de-Persianize him or de-Aryanize him? You accept him as an Iranian chef.
Why is his blackness got anything to do with it?
But why are you trying to take that away though? Like, in other words, we're embarrassed. Almost like I feel like as black people, many of us can be embarrassed and we are in a hurry to evolve beyond our blackness.
I agree with you.
I don't have a problem with evolving beyond our blackness and being universal. But you know what? We need to create the conditions. We need to create the social, economic, political conditions when that is more realistic. Otherwise, that is delusional. I think that when you got deaths in custody at disproportionate rates, when you have blacks being forcibly medicated,
that's right,
being sectioned against held detained without their will, filling up the criminal justice system, giving longer sentences, more to be disproportionate numbers of being expelled at school.
Powerful teaching.
Like when you're talking about employment levels in the community, in terms of business ownership, and these different things. Some of them, all right, we have agency as a community, as black people, so we have to address some of them issues ourselves. We have agency, but I'm saying there's evidence suggests that the power structure is not quite gone beyond its double standards.
That's right.
It's structural white supremacy or hegemony. Right? So I'm saying as long as those things exist, why are you in a hurry to elevate and to evolve beyond your blackness and you ain't really dealt with them fundamental issues in your community?
That's right.
So you perpetrating a fraud.
That's right.
You trying to
bamboozle.
Yeah, you trying to make us not being had.
That's right.
Being took, man. What's going on?
What is straight?
I don't want to see this man being universalized to the point where the real struggle what he came out of isn't really being. Look what's going on in America, for example. The man's out of America. You see Trump. What's this thing called again? Black Lives Matter. How much black people getting?
What about you? Got all lives matter, brother. It's all lives that are getting killed in industrial level, though. It's all lives that living in slums.
So we need to slow it down a little bit. We can be encompassing, I think, as black people because we are, part of the human family.
Most
we're the original people. To be honest, that's right. People come out of us, so it's not a big thing. But I'm just saying, like, don't try and be in such a hurry. Deal with those issues which our people face and they still face now on a different modern level because racism has gone underground. It's not overt for you to put up a sign. You're not allowed to put up a sign saying no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. You can't put it up now. No. But when they hide cameras and they go on estate agents and they do these undercover TV shows, you still say, no, don't rent it out to a black person. No. So we still got these. It's underground, it's covert, but it's alive and well.
I totally agree with you. I think that we have to stop pretending as if just because they don't call you nigger in your presence, they ain't thinking that the economic structure still ain't making you a nigger on every level because you ain't breaking that glass ceiling. You might end up being an Obama, but you're still such a tool and a fool for the enemies. That's all you are. You're Uncle Tom for the enemies. The point is the fact that you have people like Erdogan, a butcher and a murderer, and you have other people at the janazah of Muhammad Ali. I believe is a travesty. I think he'd have probably had people like Mugabe there. He'd have probably had people like Chavez of Venezuela if he was still alive. He'd have had maybe Che Guevara there if he was like
Jim Brown.
There's people there. What's his name again? Sharpton, right? Sharpton. To me, I'm saying, when the people say he's CIA.
The fact that he wasn't actually speaking, we ain't really got a problem with that.
We feel further reflection, find the reflection, right? But the point about it is,
we make an amendment.
An amendment to the addendum, right? But the point about it is, what we're saying is that there should be he would have had real revolutionaries there, real fighters for the Farrakhan even, right? He'd have people who's there fighting for our people, maybe even Paul Light and them man, and Senator TV and them man, yeah? We're not saying, we don't get close about family, yeah? But he would have had certain man there, you know what I mean? Dr. Ali and them man, innit? Man who could really articulate what he stood for. Because his thing should be about, he's bringing people together, but at the same time, you're bringing people together on the truth, isn't it? Malcolm X always said that. You know what I mean? When you sit down with
those are grassroots guys. Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, grassroots people. Exactly. As famous as they became, as world traveled as they were people that they were fighting for the common man.
That's my point.
Common black man.
You want to represent the fact that
in general.
This is what you want to do. You want to represent that. You don't want people to just water you down and try and change what you really, really are. Because that's what they do with the Moors, brothers and sisters. They turn them from black Africans who conquered Europe into pale-skinned, white, Caucasian even looking people, right? So we gotta watch out when these snakes, when these devils, when these people try, and when I say snake and devil, I ain't talking on no racial tip here, I'm talking from a man's heart, his devilish nature, his snakish nature, his evil nature. That ain't about no colour of the skin. That's the conscious behaviour in a man's soul and in his heart. So what we're talking about now is that don't let them co-opt our brother. You owe it to yourself to make sure this man's legacy is put out there fully. The good and the bad and the ugly, brothers and sisters. Yeah, he wasn't nice to people like Fraser and them, man. Yeah? Get me? But the point of the matter is, that just shows his humanity. But yet he gave with everything he had. He gave out of love for humanity. And he loves his people. Like he said, I want to get them off from eating bad foods and things that are going to rot their teeth. Yeah? And he wants to get them to be physically in the gym. You know what I mean? How many of you, Mayweather and all you man, would you sacrifice what he did? Could you look the white man in the eye and call him a devil? He didn't care about the glory. Could Jay-Z do that? Could Beyonce do that? Just walking around with an afro and a power salute and thinking that's revolutionary. He didn't just do them little tokenisms. He said it as it was said, like Islamic action. We say it as it needs to be said. We don't care where the chips fall, where they're made.
The chips
truth
fall
is
where
truth.
they're made.
The truth is truth. We're two black men standing here because we now have decided and said, you know what I mean? We are black men. We are going to grasp our black masculinity and our manhood. And we're going to say that as grasp our manhood.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
But what we're saying is that he showed black masculinity and he represented that. And we're saying that's what we're about. We're not about cooning and buffooning and being Revert. Because no Vietcong called me Revert.
Listen, we're running out of time. We're coming towards the end of the video. But that's a powerful statement though. No Vietcong called me Revert. I like that. That sounds like a video.
That sounds like it happened on Pocket Productions, bro.
Yeah, I can have a video coming up. That's iconic, man.
Well, I think we should just like that because this is the point, is that this is another watering down, calling yourself Revert and convert. This is another watering down of a powerful message. So what we as black men and black women...
Sorry to cut your flow, sorry to cut your wisdom, bro.
But hear what
I'm saying. Think about that. You know, that you use that phrase Revert and this watering down. But again, we're bringing it back to Muhammad Ali and we're tying it into, you see what I'm saying? This man embodied as a Muslim black masculinity, a black alpha male.
That's my point.
He's not scared of it. So that's that symbolic picture of him saying to Sonny Liston in the second fight, you know, get off the floor.
Obama's got that on his wall in the White House.
Think about that picture, like you was reading the other day. To break down that symbology when you're saying it's almost as if the African warrior in him is saying to the assimilate it because he was representing a black power struggle.
That's
right.
In the
And you know what I'm saying? And even it was said that when he was walking to the ring, that a white woman said to Sonny, listen, Sonny, what's that nigger? Nigger! So he's symbolically representing like a coon. He was for Massa's boy.
What he about to say? Even his little boy used to carry on those. He's not walking around with Sonny no more. But he must have known Sonny for the second fight.
If you want to lose your money, bet on Sonny. You know what I'm saying?
No, that nigger!
He's saying to him, get off the floor, man. Get off the floor.
Stand up!
Stand up, black
man. Be a
man! Yeah, don't be apologizing for being an African man.
Don't
be apologizing for being a black man. Being proud.
Unapologetic Islamic action.
Don't be
That's right.
If it offends, then so be it.
So be it.
But don't try and rejig and reconfigure it and be such a diplomat and so well strategic that you contagion yourself into a coonery. The day of that stuff is
the Geechee day is done, brother. This is Islamic action and groups like ours have come and destroyed that.
This is guerrilla minded
productions. We're talking about Adam being black. We're going to move from that. The Quran says it. Khalaq al-insan hameen, black mud, fashioned in shape. We ain't pretending to running off of that. We're not saying that that's racism or we're proud.
Or it makes anybody better than anybody. But it's just a fact.
It's a fact.
It's just a fact.
And Ali was about, as we said, that with that famous picture. Get up, Sonny. Stand up. Stand up. Get off your stool. Don't be a fool. Stand up as a black man. And that's what Islamic action is. Islamic action is saying to the Revert who's on the floor, the black Revert, the so-called black Revert, stand up. Get rid of that tag. Get rid of that slave, Geechee, slave mentality and stand up. Help us to build the schools, build the hospitals, build the universities. Get black men and black women and people, black men who want to stand up, be men, and black sisters to be men.
Do something for your people. Before you want to universalize.
And help everybody else.
Do something for yourself. Do something for yourself.
Yeah, don't try to make Ali into that because Ali helped a lot of black causes. The same when Prince passed away as well, right? Michael Jackson. These men was secret, but Ali wasn't secretly doing it. But these men, he openly did it. Because so stop bowing and scraping and begging these pale people, whether it's Arabs, Iranians, or Turks, whoever they are, for acceptance. Is it in your pocket there, hiding it? Is that like the phrase of the dog? He's conscious. He's conscious. Come on. I'm a cool. I'm a cool. I'm a Revert. But brother, time's on the back of us as usual by the grace of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you can just tie the epilogue.
The epilogue is the man stood for universal brotherhood, yes, but he evolved and he came out. He came out of the Black Power struggle.
That's right.
And that struggle continues, although we might change the name of it now.
That's right.
And it might be modified, but the issues still exist. And as to use the words of El Hajj Malik Shabazz, I'll be known as, are you going to change your name after you since this religious conversion? I'll be remaining as Malcolm X as long as the conditions that brought him into existence remain. So Islamic action is going to be here as long as the conditions which brought us into existence as a social, political
Economic
reality is brought us into existence. We're going to remain here. So until such time, remember to stay safe and to subscribe. Boom, boom, left or the right.
Boom my ear, that's right.
Boom my ear.
Ratings down there. Vietcong TV. Right, subscribe. Let us know what we're thinking and get those ratings up, brothers and sisters.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Until such time. Assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullah. Ta'ala.
Barakatuh.